conditions spent of the kind gravy of God. Nothing has been eaten for centuries. Death is too easy for history. Man conquered inside out himself. Suicide became the badge of war. Women only were left to dream bad dreams. And then a savior came. His name was Heckle. And then Jekyll. And he resurrected Mickey, Donald, Goofy. Then came Abbott and Costello, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Gracie and Ellen, Red Skelton, Phyllis Diller, and the king of the new empire, Spike Jones. In the future, there will be the history of hysteria, a guffaw at all the deadly serious, as all our ghosts gather to laugh about life. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Ends of the earth, for my wife is sick now. She'll be all right. I shall walk until the ends of the earth meet, and there meet you. Nothing else is a miracle save Concordia, save the Bronx, save transportation. Cool hours lift to the hot power of love. How did we meet? Tea, rice, sitting on the floor in the company of four. And that was the miracle and waning hour of it. As something was born, our love and care for each other. Peter, Janie, Larry, and Lenore. Don't bother to clap unless you really want to. It's fine to wait. I read this afternoon. I'd like to read it again because then it kind of got a little emotional. This is for Keith Wilson, who died not terribly long ago. Who more than you opens doors to where we live? And we live here, whether Las Cruces, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Taos, Roswell, Fort Sumner, and where in the so-called Southwest, who more than you breathes the past with the present? Who tells the story more than you and punctuates it with a laugh, or brings the mystery out in the open to be pondered and wondered at? Where the multifaceted, multi-ethnic, trans-animal, trans-person melt into the specifics of the story of each act, which is the reality of living here you get at, and released to us to see what is right before our eyes. Your voice excites the present with place, places, faces, animal and plant, and dry presence. Story after story that comes up out of the arroyos and brings the past with it, the ancients, the voices breaking out of caves or from their graves to face us in your family land, your love of this earth here. You articulate father, mother, son, daughters, wife, friends, strangers, to introduce us amused, carried on in words. Your voice brings me face to face with where I live. Right outside where I live, there appeared a sign, and I'd like to think that the power of poetry caused the sign to be removed. I don't think so. They've got some other things in mind, I think. For sale, my heart. For sale, Sharp Cathedral. For sale, the Avenue of the Gods. For sale, all that is sacred from the fathers and forefathers that came before us. For sale, St. Peter's. Don't you see the sign? For sale, a Navajo medicine man, complete with bag of herbs and sand and horse. For sale, all that you thought would never sell. The water you drink, the air you breathe, and especially the ground you walk on. For sale, the pyramids of Egypt, the Sphinx and Nefertiti, and the waters of the Nile. For sale, the Mormon tabernacle, and the Ark of the covenant, the Holy of Holies, right behind the altar. And the altar too, the stained glass windows of Notre Dame, actually all of Notre Dame, and Our Lady of Sorrows, and oh yes, Christ himself for a pretty price, going well in the auction today, along with the many Buddhas and Mohammed, and yes, for sale, the Statue of Liberty, a bargain, along with Washington Monument. For sale, your dearest love and your dearest love's dearest dream. For sale, the temple of your heart. For sale, the beautiful hill that is the background of the village where you live, that leads down to the ancient petroglyphs along the descending ridge. For sale. Don't you see the sign? Come, eclectic, sad man, bombarded by to-do lists wherever you look. You're a monk in your mind, but in reality dispersed in every direction. What is a cure, old guy? Living in memory? Impossible dealing one day at a time with the punches and throws? Can't you just do something and get it done, letting the work demands go? What good is that, to think of all you've never completed, never followed up? Why don't you hire me to help you out? Put me to work instead of complaining to me. Put me to work. You need help. You say you can't afford it. Organization is the pleasure of the rich. Well, I guess I'm your uneasy companion, your alter ego, but not your guiding self, your guardian angel. Hell no. I'm your buffer zone between brute reality and your crying ego. Perhaps I should get out of the way and let you speak for yourself. Oh me, oh my, oh why, oh when I die, oh, you left me behind, oh why, oh. From here on earth, art with a capital T, for Robert Winston. Ode to the ode odor, Baird Webern hors d'oeuvres, frills stuck to the walls and eaten off lick by lick, until the 19th century turned into 1905 and the smell of war tore art off the walls, onto the floor, out the back alley to the dump. Nothing was left but the four walls of a bare gallery, a couple hi-fi speakers, an AR turntable, Berg's string quartet, or rather Webern's or Schoenberg's. The time is 1935. Everything has been heard before. No frills, only the thrill of vestige avant-garde, the ultimate up direction of music. The first movement precedes the second, but not the fourth. Everything reverses cubistically or dodecaphonically. The extreme instance of the intense, the pure hereafter, the now on a high Duchamp stool. To earth. When everything falls down like chickens, like broken eggs, like plans, like what you dreamed, like those hopes crushed, then everything falls down kazoom to the ground, which is the earth, which is where everything that's heavy finally rests. In fact, everything settles down, even feathers, even the breath of your love. I'm the military donut of America. The hole in the center is fake. The flying saucer semblance is fictional. My so-called roundness is a lie. You see what you see is a square donut. We all know donuts have always been square. We're squared off for the fight, any fight. Donut in me and follow me. The Master Inquisitor Commander-in-Chief has called us to war, the war against rotten, round ideas. And anyone with a stinking thought is to be dragged in, tortured into reason, and squared up to be like us. And any round-robin resistance will be punished by death. Rotten ideas are to die in their round holes. Bad thinkers are morons, and we are the intelligent ones, the patriotic ones. Square thinking is everything. We are the square thoughts of tomorrow. This is kind of a hodgepodge retrospective. Mini retrospective. Beyond TV is stuff from '95. My asshole said, I am not your asshole. Asshole. Drunk. Drunk as a skunk. Stumped, dumped, dumbed, dunced, deuced, reduced, fleeced, cheated, cheater, reduced to cheap, stinking theater. This comes from a quotation from Philip Whalen, who said, whatever happened to spontaneous glee? Whatever happened to spontaneous glee? Will it ever happen again to you and me? Or will it be uncovered by an archaeologist's hand digging for the museum of the laugh and the free? Oh, this is for Chris Shildis, this remarkable musician, performer, and organizer of contemporary music sounds at University of New Mexico. And it's called The Avant-Garde is Dead, So What? Avant pickledy-doodly guard, God. Pick up a rock and carry it to the navel of the earth and drop it in. Ask 3 times, this is 20th century America, n'est-ce pas? This is 21st century madness? You're not mad, you're sadder than a bladder. Breathing in and out, practicing Tai Chi because he's not a football star. Say nothing for 3 Mahatma Gandhis. Cut a fiddle in half down the middle if it's not worth anything and you don't want it anyway. Conserve. Make some chutney. Green tomatoes and apples and raisins and ginger and cinnamon and so on. Boil art in it until it tastes good. The avant-garde is by now well pickled, well healed, well potatoed, picked over till not even the carcass is left. The weight of a dead bird, a way not to be able to fly into the 21st century. Flap, 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 flap. I can't even get off the table. How are we going to enter the 21st? With a ding-dong? With a Mary Mary have a canary? With a postcard tough love syndrome where character counts? With a pillow with moss on it from an endangered tropical bonanza? From Campbell's soup quietly put to rest and never pop-arted again? With a giant bang or a gross whimper or just a nothing at all, even a sigh, a whisper, or a kissing sound? With just the same old thing again, but more people, and a hell of a lot more endangered species? With a gun in every hand and every man, an octopus and every woman, a hydra-headed Dillinger-toting weapon? With just a little mercy, with just a little sobriety, with maybe a good night's sleep, with maybe an appreciation of the dawn, not hungover, not all drugged, not just so tired, not weirded out or anything, just getting up to greet number 1. America, as if I do. Mansions on mansions of the rubber rich, bouncing from hill to hill. Look at me. I'm a big ball bouncing from hill to hill. Mansions of the filthy rich. You have to look at me, showing off, showing you up from hill to bigger hill. You have to look at me, bouncing your brains out with my bigness. There's no other way out of America. You have to look at me. Well, let's see, in 96 I wrote a bunch of poems called Creator Tricks. Elbow connection. I want to marry the star that's on my elbow. I don't want any mate to go far, but I want some bend in my relationship. The cherry blossoms alight on their branches, having been nowhere noticeable. Coyote yodel, number 1. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm set out. Coyotes fracture conquistadors. Coyotes are alive and well. Conquistadors decay. What more is there to say, humans? Saint. Saint Good for Nothing was around for 1,000 years before disappearing into a vacuum. Why were you Saint Good for Nothing? Somebody had to stand for what I stood for. When they asked me to do something, I simply couldn't do it. I was good for nothing. Were you a stand-up comedian? No, I was a teacher, a sole provider, a part-time worker, a parent, a son, a recluse. Well, then you were good for a lot of things. No, I was good for nothing in all these. Well, how did you achieve sainthood? If you're around long enough, they don't know what to do with you, and somebody's going to make you a saint. I hear you were good at living long. That's something. No, I kept trying to kill myself, but never succeeded. I was good for nothing. How did you disappear into a vacuum? They shot me into outer space and dumped me there, along with their space garbage. Golly bum, I guess you were good for nothing. Saint Good for Nothing. In the lyric Goodell Museum, it would be one of my original dildos. Which is good, you know, if there's a problem, it has a lift. But now this is more current. This is my peace dildo. Okay. My IEDs. That stands for Improvised Explosive Device. Unleash the power fire. Key to emerging resources. Form dildos out of found willow wood and paint them. Being a man, that's what I do. I don't bother with IEDs. I don't bother with nothing destructive. I want to create through my dildo juice a new world. in my living room, in our house, on the mantle, on the piano, sometimes wrapped, sometimes revealed, always what comes first serves. I show up for duty, find a stick, and get to work. Get out my watercolors, my brushes, a glass of water, and get to work. And such fun, such freedom, such explosion of creativity. Where does it come from? Oh, awash in the heavens, the creative muse healing my heart of imagined injury, and now they stand smoothly erect, swirled and kissed with color, and you can't help picking them up. How smooth! Hey, what are these? They're my IEDs, but better, they float into the gigantic hope for peace in the world. They enter the reflection of the heart. They release themselves from me, and I feel better, don't you? There is hope for a happy peace after all. Dirt words. If your words don't hold dirt, what good are they? If they slide into each other and refer to each other and wash each other, your sentences are sunk. If they hit mud bottom and pick up some, you'll have dirt under your fingernails and in the creases of your hands when you speak. I'm so angry I could spit fire. It's all bundled in me like explosives, ready to go skating in Vermont, where I've never been. Yes, peace is my history, the final cover-up before the birth of explosions. I will let it out in the future, but now I'm as peaceful as a cow chewing its cud. Chew, chew, chew. Look, look, look. Stand, stand, stand. But when you inflame me, I will go up in smoke and then explode and echo, echo, echo. Do you hear the peace in me echoing now? Here's one of my commercials. Hubris. Feeling insignificant, think yourself unimportant? Is your life ruined by shyness? Step out of your shell and take charge. Ask your doctor for hubris. Hubris gives you that bold attack every morning, the secret of success. It gives you that extra charge to win every day. Say goodbye to inferiority. Take the bull of God by the horns. Dominate those below you and ascend to what's above you. Hubris will get you leading the way. Ask your doctor for hubris, and you'll be king. Side effects: hair growth from navel, nails misshapen into claws, permanent indigestion and rumbling of bowels, tendency to kill instead of compromise, pointed protuberant growth from lower spine, scaly texture to skin, eyes reversed in sockets, teeth with sharp points, burnt odor to breath, uncontrollable need to murder, incarcerate, and torture. Take hubris and topple God! In the quest of knowing, I plummeted down and became the town clown. Not really. I've never been on the crest of anything except the Sandias and a few others in my infrequent travels. And the only times I plummeted down, I fell, tripped, drunk, or sober. Now, town clown, where did I get that? A rhyming jive, a temptation to doggerel. I was never publicly laughed at. Oh, yes, I was. Many times at a reading of my own work, and often when I didn't think it was funny. But I wasn't a clown, and it wasn't a town anything. It was a so-called poetry reading, although who am I to say that I've written a single poem? All those poets, Keats, Shelley, Wordsworth, Herbert, Andrew Marvell, Spencer, Byron, Milton, Homer, even Shakespeare seem so formal. Matthew Arnold, Robert Browning, Sarah Teasdale, even Emily Dickinson, the Rossettis seem so formally posited, so closed in forms. Tennyson, for instance, so exacted, positioned on the page, so closed in what is known as poetry. But with Whitman, what a breakthrough! Finally, prose rose to the height of poetry, and everything became possible ever since, including me, whatever fool I am, singing free speech in a manner of speaking, open without stricture, like the expanse of desert flatlands or fields of alfalfa, even cotton, maize, or the view out from the crest of my shoulder mountain, a form so open it isn't a form. There are no blocks to what my mind says. The world may be falling down and taking me with it, but I have the right, whenever and forever, to say what is on my mind as it flashes through, insistent. Poetry is a form of free speech. Government, leave me alone. To be poor in a profession that pays no money, little or none, I should say, is better than being a paid hypocrite. And to have a little music given in the words is a real gain on passionate drivel. May the true win out and the quirky too, and all the surprises imagination thinks of. What else is pure? Oh, that line to the unknown. Let's not forget that. Wow. Nobody cares for me. Nobody cares for me. I'm just an entity that crawled up from the sea. Misery's my song, but it won't be long. I'm stepping off the cliff. Everything is wrong. No hope to be had. I just can't be glad. You treat me like dirt, and everything is bad. Nobody cares for me. Just the great big sea. I'm stepping off the cliff for everyone to see. But why is this slow? I'm floating down below. There's fertile ground around. I land on my big toe. Whirling to the left and bending to the right, and now I hear a bell. We think you'll be all right. Thank heavens that I botch everything I do, or I would be dead. Complaining would be through. Nobody cares for me. I'm just an entity. I love to be blue and complain to you. A note for Gene Funkin, note on Gene. Taught me many years at University of New Mexico. Poetry at large has nothing to do with the university. He proved that in his origins and his activity. What Kinko copy MFA poet could ever read to the governor and a huge outdoor crowd outside the sub read to the governor's wincing face Lenore Condell's Love Lust poem? Gene Frumpkin did. Excite your tongue. Lift your penis to the stars. Surround your breasts with love. Become one with the ocean, your head in the clouds. Look down to everybody looking up. Look up to everybody looking down. Become the messenger of hope as you kneel on the ground. I call these YouTube poems. These guys are about to write takeovers. Museum of Modernity. To be modern, you must be intolerant of change. Hide in the rough-hewn way you are. Hide-bound modernity. I'm rigidly complex. I don't bend to interests. I have created everything new. I wanted to. And I will force others to stick to get to where I am. We are the powers of taste in the Museum of Entrenched Modernity. Me, my wife, and I, and Susie Masters, the accountant, friend, and lover of the family since we created how things are, of the crisp, new established, bold, money, treasured, high-rise set of gallery idea artists, my little fondlings of pleasureless canvases and sculptures of strictured noise and oiled corporate asses. Lotsa! I investigated the unknown and found it was made up of unknowns. It's good to know that something so vast and possibly non-existent is made of pieces of itself. But as I get to know more, does that mean the unknown shrinks? I'll never know much of what is known. The more I know, the less I know, the better. So much is bad, and I don't want to know. But the unknown, that's a stumbler. That could include God, or pardon me, gods. Blasphemy, some say to think of more than one God, but then it's unknown, so what do you know? You can't go defining my unknown or putting limits on it. My unknown is enormous. There's lots of room there, Lotsa. In fact, I'll call it Lotsa. Hey you, Lotsa, are you always going to be there? I guess by definition, Lotsa, you are Lotsa. Perhaps I don't even have to think about you, although you're a convenient dumping ground. There's lots in ya, Lotsa, and lots of room for more and more and more and more. I think I'll keep you around. In fact, I have a hell of a lot of faith in you. Yeah, man, lots of luck, lots of everything, lots of comfort, lots of. Prelude. I offer myself to you. There's no one else to offer to. The question remains, what if anything can I do? Be man. Where is the golden presence, the secret of the flower, the nectar of readiness, commanding I come closer as I must mingle with the center of your being? Out of imagination blooms reality. I shove myself in, up to the sweet rim, in and out again. From my book, Firecracker Soup. There's one called Kiss It Run, which actually was choreographed at one time by Lee Connor. Excuse me. Oops, no. First band piano I've touched in years. Beautiful. I'm afraid to play it. Don't cry and die, just lie and tie a fly to the sky and sigh, a guy that's high, and buy a pie. Try my ride, glide, hide, the tide subsides and guides. You cry, don't lie, try to kiss the light and twist your life a bit more bind, light as a kite. Kiss, that's right, you hold on tight and kiss your life. Don't miss the height. We just are here and must be tight. Just you and I and this whole night. Just you and I and this whole night. We must be tight. Just you and I and kiss. We just are here and this whole night. Not miss the height. We must be here and kiss the night. Just you and I. And we are tight. Not miss the ride. Not miss the sight. No risk, no lie, no miss a try. No cry, no hitch. Just you and I. To fly the sky and glide and ride. Be here and kiss. We just don't miss. And this whole night, not miss the sight. Can't miss. We lift the rift, the tiff. We shift and give the gift. We shift and hold on tight. The kiss, we must be right. We're here, we must be tight, not miss the night. We just are here and kiss it right. To whoever stole from us, may you boil in your seat. May pockmarks mar your belly. May the smoke you smoke attack you from within, wither away your heart. May your blood run thin and cold and crack and rot. May your brain fry until your ears spout and the flames burn your hair off. Your genitals break out in warts and fistulas spew pus. As your feet turn into stumps, your fists lumps of abscess, and your liver turns to lead, then molten, runs out, turning your asshole into the empty ghost you are. The nothing, the grease spot with mold, stepped on, licked at by your dog. Oceans roll in, roll out shores, and the tides come in for more. Still the is dry and barren. If the oceans don't go there. Now the snowfall turns to ice, ice to water, then to air. Falls and drains off through the streams on or under earth-old seams. And the oceans suck away morning, noon, and night and day. And the clouds come back for more, raining, draining down the shore. In my desert makes of you, I dream of lobsters and seaweed washed in pebbled sand. And at night I hear the dream swimming by and hearing me.